Today I will be making some updates to my Dreamcast video game console here. Now this console came out on this American console, originally released on 9/9/99, so it's a 20 plus year old console. It's 2021 now, so well over probably 22 years. This one actually, if you look closely at it, if it can come in focus, I may flip it over, put in the other camera, is a Series 1 console, so it was not the original launch. It came out probably a year later, so it's probably closer to a 2000 or 2001 model, probably closer to 2000 model, and so it's 21 years old at this point. But what I'm going to do here is I've got some packages, so we will go through each of the packages, talk about the modifications I'm going to make to this Dreamcast, and then go ahead and make those modifications. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our first package here. So this one here, small box, and what I ordered, and I'll get it under here, the camera here, is the GDEmu. So go ahead and open that up and see what we got in the box here. So we've got the actual GDEmu card. That's where it plugs into the actual Sega Dreamcast, and then there is the SD card slot. Also in the box we have the push button, and as well as the adapter that goes above here. It kind of makes everything fit in place. In addition, we've got some screws we don't want to lose, and then some Dreamcast GDEmu mount kit. So we'll go ahead and look at those instructions. I don't know that I necessarily need those, but if I need to, I can reference them. Let's put this back in here and take a look at the next package. The next package is a bigger box here. So let's see what we've got in here. And I will put links in the description on everywhere that I ordered these. I think I got them all off of eBay. So I will go ahead and at least put the description names of where I got them. So the next thing that I have here, this is retroreflow that I ordered it from. And we have the power supply. And this is a it says a Pico Dreamcast. So these snap together. And what happens is it basically moves the power supply to outside the unit. And so that is a large amount of heat savings within the Dreamcast, because the current power supply generates a lot of heat, especially when you install the GDEmu. I've heard that the 12-volt rail ends up generating a lot of heat unless you disconnect it. This way I don't have to modify the power supply at all. I can simply just remove it and install this one instead. The next package we have here, much smaller package. So let's get the power supply out of the way. We'll move this just inside the bag here so it doesn't get lost. So inside here, what do we have? So this one is from Arcade Supply Company. And we have a controller port refresh board. So I'll go through this, but basically what it contains is a rechargeable battery to replace the battery, the coin cell holder, a new cap, as well as the resettable fuse, and also looks like a replaceable 13 ohm 5 watt resistor. I probably won't do that, but I will replace the cap in the battery and the resettable fuse as part of my refresh here. So that does require soldering. That will be the only part of this project that will require soldering. Everything else is just plug and play and go. But I don't mind doing a little bit of soldering for that to get the battery working again. And then the very last one, another package here. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what's in here. We don't need that. So this is a pound HD Link for the Dreamcast. Now I own one of these for my Xbox, original Xbox, and I actually really like it. I know that there are better HDMI and VGA solutions out there that some people have said, but I really do like my other pound cable. I think it works really well. It's plug and play. I don't have to do any modifications to the actual board, and so I'm really happy to have this. And so what we have here, let's just take a look, is the adapter here that just plugs straight into the back of the Dreamcast right there. And then I will have HDMI for my TV, my LCD TV. So it looks like another HDMI cable. Don't have enough of those. I think I have some shorter cables that are like 3 foot that I'll end up actually using versus that longer cable. I don't know if it makes a whole lot of difference or not. Okay, now that we've gone through all the parts and what I'll be replacing, let's go ahead and open up this Dreamcast. Now I did already remove the screws. There are 4 screws on the bottom that I may not have removed all of them. Oh, I know why. Where I did not remove, I loosened them but did not remove them, was on the actual front port here. These here will get removed. So I'm holding a screw at the same time because I don't want to lose those. I do have a bag of screws that I have located, but I will put these in this right now and then be sure not to lose those. So opening it up, I'm not doing a fan mod on this. That is another modification you can make. I'm choosing not to, one, because the fan seems to work fine. Also, then I have to kind of change out the springs and everything here. And here it's not that hard. Watched a few videos on it, but I just don't want to go through changing that out as part of this. So this is the old CD drive. I think it works just fine, but I do want to modify or remove it and put in the GDEmu just for multiple reasons. One is I can easily switch games. I don't have to worry about wear and tear on this, as well as the heat and everything else generated from it. So this just lifts right out. Actually, it was really easy. And removes completely. I think this does kind of lift up and separate. Not that I need to get into any of the parts, but if you needed to clean that or something, you could do that. I will set this aside over here, out of view. Let's put my HDMI cable also out of view here. So, okay, so actually the first thing in the project I think I will do is the soldering. Let me plug in the soldering iron and get that nice and warm. And take that out. I think this is where the screws were though. So there's a screw here and there's a screw down here. I need to locate 4 screws. So I've located 2. This is a bit tricky here, I think, because it kind of locks into place, but not too bad. Trying to loosen most of the screws that I would need here. So, okay, I have located 3 screws. And the board, which is what I will be starting the project with. In the meantime, let's go ahead and remove the power supply. This will not be going back. I will just put this into a box along with the existing CD drive, just for archival purposes, I suppose. And then putting in the new Pico Dreamcast. Let's see what else we got down here. This is the board itself. I probably do need to lift it up, and there's probably a screw. Oh, there's the last screw right there. So I don't know if I want to take all this out or not. There's the screw down there. What I might do is order some new silicon heat compound transfer for these. Otherwise the board looks nice and clean, and then just replace those at a later time. I think you can buy a package of those for pretty cheap and just put fresh on there. It's not 20 years old and likely not quite as dried out. But in the meantime, while I don't have that ordered, I can just leave it this way. And I don't think I will have too much cooling problems. But we will see. Okay, let's take a look at this. I think the first thing I want to do is very carefully kind of remove this so I have better access to everything. Okay, that looks good. Let's just set that over here, get it out of the way. Okay, and taking a look at this, we need to remove this here. Yes, that is the, and then also the cap. So I think what I'll probably do is remove the cap first, then remove this little resettable fuse. After removing the resettable fuse, remove the battery, and then plug it all in, put in the new parts. Okay, so let's take a look here. This has two, let me put my glasses on here. Okay, so we have the 2 points there. It looks like there's 3, but really I only need to remove the 2. Get my soldering iron out. I do have a little soldering sucker. I am not advanced enough to do like the built-in one. Those are pretty cool. But I don't know if I can heat this up without adding more solder or not. Let's try. Looks like it might be okay. It's kind of heating it up. And maybe I will add just a tiny little bit of solder to that, so I can remove the fresh stuff easier. Clean the tip, get everything off of there. Okay, let's see if I can actually pull that out. Fortunately, the caps are usually the easiest thing to remove. Yep, that came right out. It does get a little warm. I guess it's such a small cap. And I don't want to pull it, I just really want it to fall out, because if I pull on it, I do risk breaking some of the concrete, or the copper trace that's on there. Get that hot in there, and oops. Get that hot in there, and then I can get that hole opened up. Does not want to open up. From the top, maybe. I think I got that time. Yes, it is completely opened up. I will definitely need to clean that up. Let's go with the battery. We'll add a little more copper here. This is all metal. It's liable to get really hot as I pull it out. Okay, looking a little better. You know what? I didn't need to take that solder off, but that's okay. Because the port is here, not there. So, which is just ground. I think I got my finger a little tiny bit touching something. Coming out? Not quite. That's temperature here. I'm at 400. Let's clean the tip. Try just a little bit more here. That side does not want to come out. Put a little more solder on it. Okay. And I think I will have to clean that. That hole is clean. That was good. That was a nice good clean hole. It still does not want to clean. I think that first hole. Not still in a little tiny bit of trouble there. There it goes. Oh yeah, that's clean. Okay, then the last thing is this resettable fuse, which is through the board. It does look like some of the solder is coming through the top here. So let's see where we're at. I think this pin for this capacitor is actually through the top. So after I put the cap in, I will probably have to just put a little bit of dab on the top. And the same thing is going on with this guy. There's a little bit of solder that needs to go just in the top, or I need to put enough so it leaks through. Because if you see on the bottom, they're completely isolated. That whole bottom board is just nothing but ground. So, yeah. So we'll want to make sure we get enough solder that it gets to the top. Okay. And let's see how well I do pulling this guy out. And there it is, it's out. Cool. So let's just clean the tip off this again a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is get some alcohol and just kind of clean everything up. I've dumped my screws out. Put some alcohol there and just give everything a little bit of a clean. So yeah, like the whole trace I think fell off the bottom of that one. Again, I would not be concerned as long as I put a little bit of extra on the top. We'll be okay. Let's clean here, because that is where it's important to actually put some flux on the top of the board, not the bottom, surprisingly. I wonder if the instructions say something about that. Let's take a look. Same thing with the battery here. And it just says location. Capacitors keep consistent flow. It doesn't really say be sure to install in the correct direction. The longer lead facing toward the positive direction. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Okay, and I have some flux here. Flux out. Grab one of these. We'll put a little flux on the top here and here, because I definitely want to get a good contact. And I think the same thing here on the battery as well. I'm just going to put it on the bottom, because I definitely want to get the flow there, get some flow there, and some flow there. Okay. So let's start with this one. The longer lead is the positive, so that will go here and here, and probably need to worry about height a little bit, but I think as long as I'm below that piece, I'll be good. So bend those. And the battery component. You know what, on that, I am not going to be able to solder the top. So it is strictly soldering the bottom. I will just go ahead and clean the top on that, because there is no way, and it's just going to have to go through the hole a little bit. The copper will reach all the way through, which is fine. And then we will place this here. And then the last piece is this resettable fuse versus existing fuse, which does not reset automatically. So put that in there, and we'll just bend these out again. Okay, that's kind of nice. It'll sit, so it gives me the pressure I need. So the soldering part, actually, putting it back in, should be the easy part. Let's apply some solder back to there. And let's get this negative. We're good. We'll yeah, I think I did damage that board a little bit on the bottom, but actually if you look what happened, if I can get close enough, the solder did leak through into the top, so I will have a good connection there. So I am not too worried about that. Even though the board, I did mess the board, bottom of the board up just a little bit. Let's kind of clean that solder up and tin that one, so I can cut it a little cleaner. And I'm not going to mess with that. The bottom did the same thing on the fuse. It actually came all the way through the board, so I'm happy with those holes were nice and big. Is this guy's in there tight, so we're good. You go get some cutters and cut these. And what I can also do is actually, I don't know if I can or not, actually follow where these traces go. I'm feeling pretty good about the solder though. Definitely in the top on both the cap and that. I don't know where that actually connects. It looks like actually it just connects to that first pin. So what I could do is put my meter so it makes a noise if I have connector, and let's just touch that pin, that third pin there, and that, and it does, yeah. So we absolutely have connection, no problem there. Make sure like I don't touch that side and we got nothing, right? And the funny thing is that second one, oh, this cap is for the fan. That's all that is. So that's actually very common. So this side of it is the other half. So yeah, and there's just that filter on the fan so that when if the fan spins and you shut the power off, then it can absorb that. So yeah, totally simple. Actually, that's funny that literally isn't that important of a component, simply because it's kind of a protection overload circuit, but it's not going to affect the controller. Like my controller isn't going to break. I'm not going to lose anything there if it didn't actually connect, but it's good to know that it's working. And it's got a solid connection. So let's just clean. Up my flux here. Q-tips, gotta love them. If there's a better thing than a Q-tip, I mean, I don't mind using Q-tips, but if there's something better you're supposed to use, let me know in the comments below. But they're disposable and easy to use. I got enough of the flux off there to be happy. I don't know where my trash can went, so I will just stick those there. So now we can start attaching everything for this together, and I think the rest of this actually will go really fast. I will put the extra parts into the bag here, and I will keep those for possibly archive reasons. Honestly, that's the hardest part of this whole process. Positive is the back side, so we will slide that in there. That part is done. So I set my 4 screws there, so that's good. Let's get the rest of this together. This kind of slides in between. I think this was tricky. So this slides in between. You'll see here, real quick, there's the front there, and it literally just, it's got to slide in between, not very far actually, probably enough. I think actually if I lift it and do that, slide it, and then push it down, maybe, is the trick. Because you got to get that side lined up and this side lined up and everything else lined up. It's not lining up. Does it not slide between? Maybe it does not slide between. It does. Oh. It probably slides between and then down. And I'm trying to hold it up. There. And down. So I probably have to lift it a little bit to get this piece in there. Wow. So it takes a little bit of coordination, but not much. Oh, it just fits in there. Something that doesn't feel exactly right, but there it goes. Now it snapped. Gentle, gentle pressure. Wow. It's a lot of screwing. These are really long screws for not much. Like the board's not really that thick, so there's just a lot to go there, I guess. Twist, 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 twist. I don't know that I'm a fan of this tip. It felt good at first, but I don't know that I'm a fan. Let's try that one instead. Yeah, that's better. I just want something that does not at all give any give in that screw. I don't want to strip these things out. They're like a brass almost. I think they're kind of soft, but you could strip them out really easily. And then the next person, not happy. Who's got to take this apart? Probably be me, but who knows? So this, you know what? I'm going to have it apart. That's just probably nothing on it, but hey, get a little alcohol, IPA, and just give it the lightest little cleaning. I'm going to do the bottom first. And then the top. Yeah, that's in there. The next thing, let's take a look at the PicoPSU. So this is fun. We got a little thing here. Just unscrew that. Slide that on there. Put that on there and just turn the black thing, I think, until it gets tight. There it goes. Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool. So this just goes here on that 12-volt rail. Down. How far do I really have to push it hard? How hard I have to push that. There it goes. Yeah. Decent pressure. It matters if that's sticking up or if I should have pulled it up and had it go around. I might want to lift that up. Pull that up out of the way and then push it down. Now I'll lift one more time. Cable management. Push that down. We'll keep this guy there for airflow. And just kind of shove that there. That must be for, I'm not sure what that piece there is for. I don't think it's for anything, at least in this scenario. Cable management. Wow, we get a lot of cable here. snaps in there. Just do the same thing and stick that there. You know what? I might just get a small zip tie and zip tie that so it's out of the way. Let's go grab a zip tie. Got the smallest ones I could find. Colors I think I should go. I don't really have orange, which would be the Dreamcast. Match the logo color. Maybe the red match is actually pretty good. So we'll do that. I don't see any reason to make it super tight. Just enough to get it in there. And then the last piece is the GDEmu. Where'd the box for that go? Found it right here. Okay, let's take a look here. So, there's a few things here. Let's see. It's got some instructions I don't know. But I think since I have this, so this snaps on, it's not snapping on quite yet. Place that there. That snaps there. So I think this screws in there and there, and then it must be that side I need to put one of these little guys in on. Really long screw. Must be for that guy out there. Let's plug in the SD card reader cable and put the button in. It rotates, so there's not a good direction one way or the other. Wow, they give you a lot of cable. It's really long. They could have only made it an inch long, and that would have been more than fine. Wow. Might need my glasses on just to see where the screw holes go. So when this console came out, I was just starting college. Go ahead and get started, and then when I went to kind of clean everything up, I realized that my fan wire wasn't easily accessible, so I went ahead and just pulled the wire. I undid the screws, redid the screws, and got this wire out so that I could plug that in. So let's go ahead and plug that in. There, very gently. I don't want to bend those wires. Put that back together since I had to kind of redo some of that. I think this is ready to go. I'm not sure if I need this height here. That's too high. I'm a little concerned with how all this works. So, how the heck are you supposed to do? You just shove that in there? I can't imagine. What a mess. Not happy with how that was going to turn out, but I think it looks like that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's enough height just to kind of stick that guy in there. No breaking anything. Oh god, that's force. Okay, that was a lot of pressure, but got it in there. Clicky clicky. Let's put this in here. I'm not going to do screws quite yet, because in case I got to take things apart. But wow, that sits in there nice. There's a screw back there. Maybe I gotta push this way. There's a screw back there. Maybe I will put that screw in though. Keep things from sliding around too much, but wow. Okay. I think that's good. Now I do have a 32 gig hard SD card here. I will go ahead and this one appears, I think it's just for storage. That one back there slides in like that. Power is in. Everything's done. I only had one more piece and that was the HDMI. So let's, I don't need this on right now. But again, let's just see how everything fits. See, that snaps together. Oh yeah, look at that. Open. So that's what it looks like inside there, the SD card. It's pretty nice. Power off. So let's go ahead and grab the rest of the components here. So this pound cable here does need power from a USB, so we will do that. Plug that in. Get some power for the USB here. Green, so we have power in the USB. Grab HDMI cable. Oh, I need power too. Let's get this opened up. What the heck did I twist that goes? Not sure what's going on there. These things just fell off. Controller. Plug that in the front here into port A. Let's power it on, see what happens here. Fans going. And I got nothing because I did not plug in the HDMI. So let's plug in the HDMI. One more try. Okay, it is asking me to set the date and time here. So let's set that to 11. Now I have it working. So the first option is GD menu. That's what boots into this GD menu, and then we have the game. So I have the Crazy Taxi, Ducks. Still playing. Let's see. Crazy Taxi. It's loading that. Can you load Crazy Taxi 2? Yeah. So let's let's bring up Crazy Taxi and see what it looks like. Oh, I don't have a card in, but I can do that. No VM. Can you put a VM in between time? I don't know if you can or not. There it goes. Yeah, you can put a VMU in while you're playing.
Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi. It's party time, let's have some fun. All right, let's go make some crazy money.
Let's see. Now, actually, the last time I played this was on my
Go ahead
Xbox
and
One.
pick a car and driver. Diesel.
Yeah, we gonna have some fun.
Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go.
If I press the button on it and see what it does. That did. Okay, it reloaded, refreshed, like a reset, apparently. It load the next game, which might be Crazy Taxi 2. It's like doing a disk swap. Or does it take you back to GDEmu? Let's see. It takes you right back to GDEmu. So by pressing the disk swap, let's do. So what I got in here? Sonic Adventure down here, Shenmue, Star Wars. I think that's everything. Pretty much just one screen here. So, Ducks is a really fun game. It's actually a game that came out in 2014, I believe. So that's a fun game to play here. So I think they quit making games back in 2001, but officially now they're making independent games that we can purchase. You can also buy most of these games on Steam too, if you don't want to play them on the Dreamcast or don't have a Dreamcast. Score. What am I doing here? I want to save and return. What did I do? I think I just got to press start. Start. I was pressing A. There it goes. I'm trying to press the shoot button. It's been a while since I played this. I actually have only played it on the PC. I have not played it on a Dreamcast before, so. And that's a wrap then. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you for watching the video with the Sega Dreamcast mod. If you like these kinds of videos with me doing modifications, I'm going to do more. Some Xbox 360 mods. I'll go through even maybe some Guitar Hero mods that I've done. A few other different modifications. So yeah, thanks for watching.